That's most definitely what's up.
Shout out to the chess club. But something's wrong with the game. But something's wrong with the game. We're aiming for a controversial 7 out of 10. 16 times the detail.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Death to all of them. Death to all of them.
Welcome, everybody. We're back. Yeah, braced for the Trump DDoS. You never know. You never know with Todd. Now, I talked to the internet service provider technician. After our troubles on Monday, I called their support line because I pay for business class internet, even though I work out of my house, because if you have a problem, you can call them and they show up within like an hour. Whereas if it's a residential thing, I'm sure you guys know, you call for internet support and you have a residential account, they show up like in a day or two. So the technician showed up, did all the tests and everything. And it's like, yeah, something weird's going on, but it's nothing in your hardware. That all looks good. He's like, this is really weird. I'm going to make some calls and go look at the pedestal in your neighbor's like backyard that has the all the connections for the whole street. He comes back after like half an hour and he just says, yeah, so there's some problem with like the node for the city, and the technician like supervisor for the whole district is out working on it and says it should be ready to go by end of day tomorrow. That's why I wasn't here yesterday, because it was still dropping randomly all through yesterday. The internet would just drop for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes it'd be back on for 2 hours. Other times it would drop after 30 seconds of being on. No idea what the deal was, but they seemingly fixed it because we haven't had any drops today. But I'll tell you what, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm hoping for Comcast to get here soon. They're working their way, like expanding their gigabit network, their fiber network rather. And they can't get here soon enough because I'm losing my mind. It's one of those weird things where like, when you buy a house, you think, yo, you just buy a house in a place you like that is a nice house and you can afford. But like, there's a whole other consideration with like, oh, this little gnat is gonna drive me crazy. There's this whole other consideration where you have to check the internet service provider if you live in Colorado, because so many of the ISPs here suck. They're all still like, you know, 20 years behind using dial-up infrastructure for it. You know, you're right. For 99% of people, they probably just need like the bare bones, basic, like, you know, 100 megabit, 50 megabit, 20 megabit, whatever But for me, I need decent download and upload, and I need it to be stable. And that's the trickier bit. It's getting it to be stable, you know? Love Xfinity, you gonna talk about the Fallout event? How low are your expectations? Guarantee they will still disappoint
Rango
you.
is now a member. Love Xfinity.
Yeah.
You gonna talk about Fallout event? How
Let's see if
low
I can
are your
find it.
expectations? Guarantee they still disappoint you.
Yeah, here, let me open this up. Yeah, in case you guys didn't hear, I'll do this as a segment. Here we go. So let me find their full tweet, because it's like, let's see, Bethesda Game Studios, probably. Yeah. Okay. Wrong button. News segment. Thank you, my friends, for that. California F1, thank you for the £5. You heard about Black Ops 6 charging extra for better sound. It's making headlines right now. Check IGN. Okay, I'll pull that up because that sounds really stupid. And you know how we feel about stupid stuff. We love it. We love it. Let's see, IGN. Maybe their Twitter. Is that what you're saying? They posted it to their Twitter or X or whatever. IGN. IGN. Third party. Okay. Yeah, this looks dumb. Oh, wait. Is this just Dolby Atmos? No, it's embodies immersive. Okay. This is similar. This is similar to something else that's happened. For a while, you had to pay. I don't know if it still is the case, but you had to pay extra for a Dolby Atmos license, which was pretty stupid. So this sounds like it could be a similar thing. Because when I worked in home theater sales, we had that problem too. But yeah, we'll get there. Okay. Are they hyping up the Fallout? I thought they were like, they were trying to settle people's concerns. I didn't think they were hyping it up, are they? We're gonna do a full deep dive on the Fallout event. Juice head, you said? Juice head. Oh yeah, we looked at his Future Bethesda video like 2 weeks ago. Bethesda teasing something. I'm assuming that's the video you're talking about. Man, it's crazy. These guys for a while were doing like 500,000 on every upload. Like they were popping off in the age of Starfield. And then Starfield happened. We all kind of know how that went. Oh man. Okay, I guess let's talk about this. News segment. So in case you missed it, there is an event happening today. A Fallout event. A Fallout spooktacular. Let me just show you what the top comment on their post about it is to show you how unreasonable some people's expectations can be. If they announce Fallout 5 at this event, I will do a 24-hour live stream where I play nothing but Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I laugh at every one of their jokes. Hand to God. If I can figure out a way to do it in a hot tub, I'll do that too. That that is not going to happen. What they announced was Fallout Day is coming October 23rd, where we will be hosting our first ever Fallout Day broadcast. Join John Rush and Bill Lacoste as they give you a glimpse at what we've been working on in Fallout 76. The party keeps going from there with our friends at Fallout for Hope for their community parade. It's like a charity initiative, looks like. See you soon. It's in 50 minutes. So we'll watch it here in a little bit. But that's apparently happening. Some people are hyping it up thinking that they're going to get like a Fallout 5. And those people will be very sad. They even say in this that they are showing what they've been working on in Fallout 76. This is going to be a Fallout 76 event. Like they're going to show you some new skins, some new shop items. And listen, there are people that really love Fallout 76. That's fine. They've done a lot of work on it for 6 years to get it there. They've worked really hard. And a lot of people really like the game now. That's awesome. But if you're going into this thinking that we're going to get like a Fallout London official patch that adds it as DLC or something, like I think you're going to be disappointed. Just saying. I think they are going to reveal a few little tidbits for Fallout 76, maybe a trailer for a new expansion that comes out next year, and that's probably it. I don't think we see anything more than that, frankly. So, yeah. I guess, Jacob, for the sake of cutting this clip together, you can be like, oh, we'll leave it here, and then in 50 minutes we'll watch it, and then you can stitch the two together. Bada bing, bada boom. Horse armor. Yeah, dude, they might actually add horses with horse armor. That would be funny. I'd be okay with that. Next gen New Vegas would do wonders for them, but they can't fathom how somebody can make a better game than them. Well, I mean, I think if they are going to do a New Vegas remaster, remake, sequel, whatever, I think that that's a big enough announcement. They wait till the summer. I don't know why they would reveal that here with like very little marketing or hype going into it. I just don't know why they would do it that way. Like their announcement tweet has 800 likes. If this were something where they were going to have something like huge to show, they would have dropped it, separately. So, yeah, we'll watch it in a little bit, like 45 minutes. We'll see what they got. I'll keep it open. Wow, their whole chat they're just spamming Gary. It's just one guy, Joe. No, other people are joining in. I don't know. I'm lost. Okay. Let's pause on that. Let's shift gears into this because you guys brought this up. Calafiori F1 brought it up specifically. Astro Tutor, thank you for the $1.50. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, let's do this. Gary, Indiana. Yes, that's a whole song. Here we go. News over. What is this? Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has built-in support for better audio tech that costs $20. A microtransaction for sound. Let's see. So at the outset, this immediately makes me think of something. I think it was a pair of headphones I owned back in the day where you had to pay like $5 to unlock Dolby Atmos. Did you guys ever have that? I think they were like Logitech headphones, like A50s maybe, and it was like $5. You unlock Dolby Atmos if the game or content supports it, and then you can listen to it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I don't think I'm just like totally making that up. Yeah, like THX audio. Yeah, this is one of those weird things. Basically, like there are some weird ways that they have like copyrighted and patented codecs and different ways of encoding audio or video and different things. And you have to pay a licensing fee to use it and to be able to decode it. That's what like Dolby Atmos does. Dolby, though, typically does deals with like TV manufacturers or speaker manufacturers, which is why you'll see it on the box, like supports Dolby Atmos or whatever, because they've paid the license fee for you and bundled that into the price. In this case, it looks like they are just talking about another type of audio enhancement from some other company that they are not bundling into any price and are leaving totally separate. So they have built-in support for a third-party audio tool that charges $20 for improved sound. In a blog post, let's see the blog post. A more detailed dynamic soundscape. Okay. An enemy is firing in the distance and on the move, but they're out of sight. As an elite operator, every second counts. Are they down the hall, racing up the stairs outside? The audio team at Treyarch is enhancing the 3D soundscape to new levels, allowing players to better sense the location, speed, also known as velocity, not really, the direction of nearby activity, helping them to respond more effectively and become even more immersed in the world of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. To get a better idea of the audio enhancements going into the game, we spoke with lead audio designer Colin Ayers and expert audio engineer William Cornell, not Cornell. William, that just reminded me of The Office when Creed, they were talking about Cornell, the college, and Creed's like, no, it's pronounced Colonel. It's the highest rank in the military. William, 9 years at Treyarch, and Colin, 18 years at Treyarch, are both longtime Treyarch audio wizards, earning credits on multiple Call of Duty titles and acquiring valuable experience, resulting in the team's best work. Okay. Let's see. So they're talking about the goals for audio. Okay. In collaboration with Microsoft's Project Acoustics system, advancements in spatial awareness and perception are being pushed to new heights. We've been working closely with Project Acoustics team to simulate the way that sound waves bounce and propagate through the world down to the smallest details, like what materials are made of, the size and shape of the room, and what path the sound has to take to get from where it happened to where you are hearing it. This is exhilarating, isn't it? So they have some examples. Let's hear these through the stream.
Destination marked.
Spatial reverb, voice lines.
Head for my waypoint.
Okay.
Setting rally point. Head for my waypoint. Destination marked. Destination marked.
I mean, not bad. Not bad. I mean, it is cool hearing the reverb and echoes change as you move positions. This one didn't sound right. Like he's yelling out here.
Rally point.
That one seemed aggressive, but anyway, what do I know? I'm not a sound specialist. That sounded like it was coming from behind me. There's a reason I'm not good at these games, apparently. Okay, so they're doing that. They're simulating sound with what looks to be Go-Gurt. That's cool to see. I mean, this was one of the big selling points. Remember the PlayStation 6? It was supposed to be the spatial audio stuff. That was like supposed to be one of the big things, in addition to like ray tracing and all that. And it just never really came to fruition. Like nobody really talked about it. Are my headphones on backwards? That would be funny. For a second, I was like, wait, if I did that, would it be? No, it's just left and right. I'm so stupid sometimes. So they're talking about that, accessibility support, enhanced headphone mode. I think this is the big one. The advancements in sound go even further as the game uses head-related transfer function, also known as HRTF. It reminds me of the Flisdom de Fleur. It is a technology that better simulates how sound is transferred from the game world to the player's ears. William explained that HRTF emulates the way that sounds are affected by the shape of your head and your ears before you actually hear them. It's the gold standard for maximizing directional perception when you're listening on headphones. Enhanced headphone mode makes use headphone mode makes use of Embodi's immersive spatial audio technology to increase the directional accuracy of sounds played in the world. Okay.
Jack is now a member. I've got those same headphones. They're awesome.
Yeah, I like them too. It took me a while to get used to them. I was used to the A50Ss, but I've gotten used to them. I like them a lot. I love the battery swap. That thing is goated. Okay, included as part of the game's enhanced headphone mode is Universal Herturf Profile, which has been specifically created for Call of Duty's soundscape. Optionally, players can choose to enhance this Herturf experience even further by creating a personalized profile that takes into account the player's physical attributes, such as the shape of the ear and head. This customization is accessed in-game and completed by using Embodi's personalization portal. It will be available at the launch of Black Ops 6 and the start of Season 1 for Call of Duty Warzone. And it sounds like that is what is $20 for 5 years. Is this upgrade? Because it sounds like it is a license with Embody, which is the sound whatever company. We're not going to be able to find any of this. THX Spatial versus Embody. I mean, perhaps unfortunately, this is not the most crazy thing I've heard of. I've seen this before. Yeah, free trial available. Personalized profile analyzes your unique head and ear shape for precise sound. Universal blah, blah. After the free trial, you must visit Immersive Game Pack storefront from Embody and then buy a license to it. I mean, considering it's a third-party thing, I don't find this to be that insane. I know it sounds like, oh, it's pay to win. I mean, it's the same thing as if you're buying, like, there are softwares that exist now which allow you to alter sound in your headphones and stuff. And so it's a third-party thing. Having built into the game, like, I guess that perhaps changes it. But having a third-party software that you pay for that could affect your experience in the game, I can understand why some people might feel that that's unfair. And perhaps it is, but I mean, I'm not sure if you can avoid having third-party audio mixers and stuff. Like even on my Go XLR, if I want to crank bass and stuff, like I can do that. You can do it in Windows too. I've seen guides back when I was like super into Warzone. I remember seeing a video on maybe TikTok or something, and it was describing how to go into the Windows audio settings to crank certain things to make footsteps more audible. And I guess this is a more streamlined way of doing that. If you're willing to pay $20 for the full thing, you could do that. But like, honestly, is this going to make you a good player? I don't think so. Based on my understanding of what it takes to be a good Call of Duty player. So I think, you know, if you suck at the game or you're average at the game, I don't think paying $20 for this will magically make you better. But you know, it's just, maybe I'm just desensitized at this point. I'm like, well, it's not as bad as the $80 whatever skin that they did for Godzilla and King Kong. So I guess it's not as bad as that. So it doesn't feel as bad because I've been like desensitized to it. But like, my understanding is this stuff, all of this is in the game. So this stuff that you're seeing, the sound simulation is in the game. It's specifically the enhancement to alter the sound based on your head shape and ear shape. That is what is $20 to use the portal. It's one of those things. If it actually makes a difference, it should be free to everybody. It should be included. Microsoft can pay for the license for everybody. But if it's not that big of a deal, then why is it in the game? And certainly, why is it $20 at that point? So what's next? Pay for auto. I mean, having audio played differently with a different, like, a different, whatever, what's the damn term of it? Equalizer. Having a different equalizer based on the shape of your ear will not magically make you a good player. Like, saying that is pay to win, I think assumes that people have much better hearing than they do. because it's not going to do anything magical, I don't think. But still, just a weird choice when they could have just launched the game, and I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference either way. Like, I guess if you're like the dummy that's going to pay $20 for it, then it's just a stupid tax. But, you know, people are willing to try anything to get better at these games, so maybe they will buy it and think it makes it better. Yeah. Chat, clip it. Final Fantasy 14 3D audio is $30 too. They have 3D audio. Hold on. Final Fantasy 14 3D audio, not 4D audio, 3D audio. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the Immerse game pack from Embody. It's the same company. So they're just going to different games and doing this. Where if you want 3D spatial sound, you buy the license for the game. Final Fantasy 14 is a weird one to do it for, though. Sounds good. Yeah. Like, okay. What other games do they do this on? Cyberpunk, they did it. Call of Duty, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 14. Interesting. Fortnite, it looks like, as well. So this just been going under the radar for me. I just was not aware that this was a thing. Overwatch? But apparently if you want to unlock it, you have to pay the license for the company that does it. I just don't understand why Microsoft wouldn't just pay for it for everybody. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, yeah, it's not going to magically make you a better player. And most people just straight up probably don't have headphones or audio equipment good enough to be able to utilize this. But still, I don't understand why they wouldn't just include it. If it's that good, it should be free to everybody. And if it's not that good, why is it in the game? You know, like, either way, there's not a great answer. But I guess this is a thing they've been doing for a while. I just was not aware that they were bringing it to Final Fantasy 14. Like, huh? Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? Yeah. On an MMO is just an interesting choice. I guess if you really, really like 3D audio in your MMO, they have a way to do it. I think where people get frustrated specifically with this, as I'm looking at it, is the fact that it's like officially sanctioned. The fact that it's like built into the game, you just have to pay for the license. That's where people are like, no, this is like kind of slimy. This just doesn't feel right. It should be included for everybody. If it were a total third-party thing, if it were totally separate, and it was like basically you went and downloaded a separate, equalizer for your game, then, you know, it's not Microsoft's deal at that point. If you're going to do that, that's up to you. But the fact that it's in the menus, it's built in, that's what makes it feel bad. Kabloom. I don't know. I'm still gonna suck at Call of Duty, so it's not gonna help me. It's not gonna help me, I'll tell you that much. I wonder what's it like. So they say for immerse spatial audio demo for Cyberpunk. Immerse off. Yeah. Definitely way more directional in Cyberpunk. I'll give him that. That definitely does sound way better. Yeah, I mean, it's his personal space for all PC games. So they're just saying like it's basically an equalizer platform, and then it also goes through it. What it probably does is it probably routes out from the game in like 5.1, and then it goes and passes that through a couple of filters and equalizers, and then it outputs it in one spot. So it's cool tech, certainly, and it has separate standards for like footsteps, bullet shots, things like that will echo differently. But yeah, I don't know. It's not I'm not going to be paying for it. It's not that captivating for me. I need it for the Resident Evil director's cut in the basement area. Oh man. Eventually Embody paid Microsoft. What do you mean? Eventually they paid Microsoft, like they pay for their, no, how would they make money? Are you saying that they paid Microsoft to put it in the game as a preview to get it? Yeah, like that, if that's what you're saying, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it is. Probably a marketing deal. Put our tech in your game, give players a free trial, and then they can pay to unlock it fully. Yeah, I bet that's what happened. But again, I just don't understand why they would do it this way. Okay, sometimes I just don't know what we're talking about on Twitter. Like, this is what's recommended to me when I pop over to the tab to like find the next story. A man ordered a cameo from the Da Vinci twins so he could announce his divorce from his wife.
Someone ordered a cameo from us and said they want to get a divorce. What's up, Victoria? We just want to say that David loved you so much, but he doesn't love you anymore. And he wants to get a divorce. Separated.
They make more money than you. Remember that. Just let that settle in, okay? Just let that settle in. Oh man. It hurts, doesn't it? I'm gonna go cry now. Yep. Yep, maybe Thanos was right. Oh man. Whenever I see this, I'm always just like, oh. Oh man. Okay. Dude, people in the comments of this. Fallout 5. I think they're trolling. I think people are memeing. But if if they're not, that hurts. That feels bad. Feels bad, man. That sounds man. Okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because this broke my brain and I'm very excited. Okay. Okay. Also, Judson, theme of the 5. You might not know they already leaked COD 25 already by Tom. Yeah, I mean, is it a Call of Duty game? I at this point, I'm like, what is there really to get excited about with leaks for Call of Duty? Like, whenever I see it, I'm like, okay, so it's more Call of Duty. Yeah, I don't know enough about Call of Duty to be able to tell whether a leak looks cool or not, you know. Not too late to change your bet about the 24-hour Fallout stream. To be clear, it was a 24-hour Suicide Squad stream, so it's got to be a punishment for me for getting the prediction wrong. But yeah, if they announce Fallout 5 with like a trailer and they're like, it's actually coming out next, we postponed Elder Scrolls, then I will be thoroughly amazed. Let's see. Gary, says Blake. Gary indeed. Okay. Just when you thought you knew what you were doing for October/November, just when you thought you had a clear idea of what was going on for the rest of the year, whether you're going to play, Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster, or you're going to go and you're going to play Dragon Age, whatever you're planning on doing, I don't care. But whatever they're doing, it's been upended. That's right. That's right. Cancel all your plans. There is an open beta announced for Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh, man. PlayStation Plus subscribers get early access to it from October 28th through the 31st. And then the open beta kicks off from October 31st through November 4th. Man, it's happening. Should we see the video, the full thing, looking at this? Let's see. Capcom. Maybe. Here we go. 4 hours ago. Buckle up, buckaroo. Showcase.
Hello everyone, I'm Ryozo Tsujimoto, the producer of Monster Hunter Wilds. In today's Monster Hunter Wilds showcase, I'll share the latest news with you all. Without further ado, please enjoy this new trailer.
I will. Thank you very much. Now again, housekeeping. We're going to be mature. I don't know what's in this trailer. I don't know who is in this trailer. We're going to be mature about it.
Oh, is this it?
Welcome, travelers. I present you Azuz, the Everforge.
I'm so glad they're showing more stuff than just the desert.
Look at that firebrand go.
Ooh! So nice being able to loot without hopping off. What the hell? Bro. This thing's gonna suck to fight against, I can already tell. Oh man. Dude. They've been cooking.
We beckon the fire spring with our own hands.
Ooh.
No! We never wanted this to happen!
No stopping it now. Not once it starts flowing.
Why? This wasn't supposed to happen.
Dude. What the hell is even that?
Black flame.
Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that? Oh my
The
god.
trailer you just saw shows the expedition team arriving in a new locale known as the Oil Well Basin. It's a region where oil wells and, on occasion, raging fires burn. The brute wyvern Rumpopolo can be found in
Man.
areas of deep oil silt.
Rompopolo. I don't care where you are. You could be in the DMV for all I care. Right now, out loud, say Rompopolo. It'll make you feel good.
Can be found.
Just say it out loud, just like this.
The brute wyvern Rumpopolo can be
Rompopolo. Just say it. You'll feel good about yourself. Rompopolo. It fills the soul.
found in areas of deep oil silt.
Naming my kid that.
And monsters such as the red-hot fanged beast Ajarakan are highly active during the fire spring. Both are unique creatures that have adapted to this harsh.
Is Monster Hunter Wilds connected at all to the other games? Do you need to know something before playing it? Keep up the good work.
Thank you, my friend. Daniel, I mean, it's Monster Hunter. So, like, if you've played previous ones, then you're going to know certain monsters that return. Some of the mechanics will be familiar, but you can absolutely just play it. Like, these games are pretty approachable. And if anything, they've gotten way more approachable than back in the day. My buddy Corey was telling me about the old school Monster Hunter games where, like, for example, there's a whole mechanic in Monster Hunter where as you use your weapon, it dulls during a fight. So you have to sharpen it with a whetstone. It's just a quick thing, takes maybe 3 seconds of sing, shing, shing, and then you're good with it fully sharpened. But the idea is that during boss fights, you can have really high sharpness weapons that are very fragile. So you have to be able to break away from the boss fight to sharpen it and then get back in. So there's a whole thing. But he was telling me back in the day, like, you had to go and find and collect whetstones. They didn't even give them to you. They would like lose effectiveness as the game went on and from mission to mission. So you had to constantly grind for them as well. So like they've made them much more approachable where you just have a whetstone. You just sharpen your knife, or you need that food, just go get your food. Like you don't have to collect all this crazy stuff for it. They've really streamlined it. Not in a way that simplifies, or, well, maybe it is simplified, but not in a way that dumbs it down. In a way that retains the complexity, it just removes a lot of the busy work. So, if anything, maybe start with World, like, or Monster Hunter World, if you are interested in Wilds, to just get your feet under you and understand, like, kind of how it works and how the flow of it works. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to just jump straight into this, you absolutely can do that. Let's be very clear.
Environment. The village of Azuz formed around its large forge, and its people live as skilled craftsmen. Deep beneath the basin lives a mysterious monster known to the people of Azuz as the Black Flame. What will the expedition team find in this region? New facts reveal deeper mysteries. We hope you look forward to the expanding story.
Dude.
Since the game's announcement last year, we've seen a huge response, for which we are sincerely surprised and grateful. Thank you very much. We have a special announcement for all you hunters out there who are eager to play. Monster Hunter Wilds will have an open beta test. It will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and Steam, and will support crossplay across all these platforms. The open beta test period will start during these dates, so please hang on just a little longer.
An account on your desired platform is required. Emergency maintenance may be performed if problems occur during the open beta test. Check social media, blah, blah. Content included in the open beta test may differ from that of the full version. Yes. Okay. Available to those using PlayStation 5 version who are not subscribed to PS Plus, and those on Xbox Series X and S which are not subscribed to Game Pass, Core, or Ultimate. Okay, so I'm excited. I'm giddy. Cross-platform play is an awesome thing, because it used to be if you had a PS4 copy, you had to play with everybody else in your friend group on PS4. There was no like PS4 and Steam mix and match. So now that's fixed. You can play it anywhere. I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, please, but I don't think there's cross-platform progress. Meaning, I don't think you're able to start on PS5 and then bounce over to Steam and then, you know, use cloud saves to bounce between platforms. So if you are somebody that wants to play it on PC for like the improved frame rates or whatever, or the improved fidelity, like that's something you can do. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm giddy, man. I can't wait. They showcase even more stuff after this. You can go check that out if you're interested. They have even more announcements, character creator details, all that stuff. We have the Fallout event to check out and be disappointed by. So we're going to do that. But yeah, go check that out if you're interested, and go watch the other stream clip on this Fallout event, which I'm sure will be up around now. So thank you. Much love. Bye. Okay. There's still 14 minutes, fam. They're just going to redo, like, go through all these old clips and cartoons, which is fine. These are cute, but yeah, we got 14 minutes still. Womp womp. No, it's on. Yes.
Gregory T. Sack donated $19.99 through Super Chat. Hey Luke, I often listen to your stuff in the background. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend.
I also wanted your thoughts on DeathSprint 2066 not having an in-game cosmetics store. I feel like
the game, that's a game perfect for one. DeathSprint 2066. DeathSprint 66. Oh, this. From Sumo. We've talked about Sumo games a ton. We just had them come up in another topic too, because they've done like all of this stuff. They've done a ton of work, but came out September 12th. Oh, that's cool. It's just like a game where you are platforming and all that. Interesting. And they don't have a cosmetic store, really? That's surprising. I would have thought that they would. You're right. This does seem like a game perfect for it. Get some crazy, wacky skins. The other part of it might just be that it's expensive to produce skins and to have teams of people that are just making different skins and stuff for an in-game story. So even if you sell some, it's expensive to do. And maybe they're just like, hey, this is a low-budget game, but it's one that we hope finds an audience. We're just going to sell it for the $20 or whatever and hope that people enjoy it, or $25, and call it good. You know, maybe they just didn't feel like it was worth the stress. Because even though skins are comparatively very, very cheap compared to like quests or making another game, they still cost money. Like it still takes time. I forget who I was talking to, but there was one developer I was talking to that was like, oh, our pipeline is like 6 months. If we want to make a skin, it takes like 6 months to get through all the approvals, all the reviews, everything. Like it's a whole thing. Yeah. It's Fallout Day, bruh. Yeah, sure is. Sure is. And thank you for the 20. That was very generous. Let's see. Banana, thank you for the 5. Do you think you could look up the 40K Tau Manta? It's the biggest 40K model. I want to see a reaction. Sure. 40K Tau Manta. Oh. Oh, God. This is the biggest model in the 40K universe.
So, back in the fall, it finally arrived. We made an unboxing video. I made my first kind of failed assembly video where I hadn't really gotten very far because this process was long and arduous. Great word. Forge rolled resin can be tough to work with, and with a 20-year-old kit, this was no exception. In fact, this is probably the hardest miniature I've ever worked on, and I was still learning. And this was a process for me to how to work with a model kit this big. I've never done a kit this big. The biggest Forge World kit I've made before was this one. The
Said
town
it
art.
very
And it is a
gently.
big kit, but
It looks great. Jeez, dude. And how much is this?
series of Damocles that we're going to be releasing exclusive.
Do you know how much this is? Luke's ordering it right now. I don't play Tau. I wouldn't do that to myself, but that's pretty crazy. I'm sure it's insane. It's over $1,000. Yeah, it checks out. Checks out. It's not as bad as some of the what's the Titans? It's like the 40K Titans in resin. I think somebody made. Yeah, this. Look at this. These guys did some insane work. Like they made a whole diorama. Show it to us. Show it to us. I mean, come on. That's insane. They even did the like white water. They cured the resin in that way. They also dripped the resin down and then cured it so it looks like the water pouring out. That's ridiculous. Man. For a lot of these guys, they don't like it's not even a tabletop game anymore. They're just like artists. And they make all of us look really bad who like are struggling to make it look even half decent. You know, it's wild. Speaking of models, CitizenCon had a 2/3 size Hornet. Yeah, they had a lot of stuff there. They had a lot of stuff there. I just posted a video going through some of the event and some of the stuff they showed. Again, like my takeaway from everything Star Citizen related is I'm like, I love the vision, I love the pitch. Please stop with how it's monetized. Like it's so toxic how everything is broken down. Like even at CitizenCon, one of the big reveals was a new ship that's $300 or $500 if you want to buy a 2-pack. Like, and it releases next year. You're pre-ordering a $300 in-game ship. You know, it's like, and then they're talking about trying to manage with like a well-balanced economy and they want to have all of this stuff. It's like, guys, at some point you're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off if you want to have a good economy. You can't have it be like, oh yeah, it's a very realistic economy with everything simulated very, very realistically and everything is great with taxes, insurance, all this. But if you want to pay real world money for a gigantic spaceship that lets you basically skip months of grind, you can do that. Like that just doesn't work for me. Whale shouldn't whale for them then. Yeah, well it's why I don't think they're ever going to cut out the ships for sale. Because if it ain't broke, why fix it? They make millions every month. Why would they stop selling ships? Oh, we went to skins instead. They're like, that's not gonna make any money compared to what they're getting now. There's people, I tell the story in the video. I had somebody reach out to me after like in one of our streams, who said that he had a second car that he sold so that he could buy more Star Citizen stuff because they were doing their big whatever sales event. I think in May or something is when they do it. Like, this guy, I don't drive it that much, so I sold the car and I used that money. What? Like, at some point, we're in too deep, man. At some point. But, like, to be fair, like, you want to flip it around. It's like, okay, I like playing golf recently. I've had a lot of fun with golf. I know some people that go and spend thousands on golf clubs, right? Like, they spend the same amount as, like, my first car was, I paid $500 for it, okay? It's an old Volvo 1996 station wagon, looked like a hearse. It was awesome. I at this point, you know, some of the stuff behind me, some of the Legos behind me cost more than that first car I had. So if you were like, oh, you sold that old car you had for a Lego set, what were you thinking? Like, I can see how you'd be like, that's ridiculous. And in some ways it is ridiculous for that. Now, I very thankfully didn't buy that myself. I had somebody, Sean, the goat, donate for Lego sets and stuff when we were building them on stream. But still, I can see how you could flip the page and kind of use the Uno reverse card and be like, see, but you spent a ton of money on your gaming PC. That's stupid. Or you spent this much money on golf, or you spent this much money on Warhammer, or you spent this much money on your bicycle. Maybe you're really into cycling or whatever. And so you can flip it around many different ways. I get it. But that doesn't mean I have to like it, you know? And my problem is with golf. If you want to play golf with used clubs that you got at a thrift store for $5, you can do that. You might not be hitting it as far as the pros, but you can still play golf and have a good time. With Star Citizen, it feels like you are at such a disadvantage if you're not willing to put up real world money that it makes it actively infuriating if you're just trying to play the game, especially because they do regular server wipes. So if you buy a ship, like a $500 ship, you will get to keep that after the server wipe if you paid real world money for it. If you grinded for it in game, when it resets, you lose that ship and you have to start over. Yeah, the server wipe will not exist after 1.0. Yeah, when do we get to 1.0? That's the question. They've been saying they were going to hit 1.0 since, I think, 2012. They initially were shooting for like 2014 to 15 was for the launch. Like, at this point, I have very little confidence they'll ever hit 1.0 because I think there will always be one more thing to add, one more thing to do. Because if they say, hey, we're going to get rid of server wipes, we're going to get rid of the paid ships once we hit 1.0, they have an active incentive to never hit 1.0. Like they have a reason to always have something else come up that they need to work on. Ask yourself, if you had a business with thousands of employees, I'm not sure if it's thousands, but at the very least hundreds of employees, and you were making millions every month, in some cases tens of millions of dollars a month, and you had the choice between finishing the project or continuing to make millions of dollars, you'd probably just keep making millions of dollars. And especially these like executives and stuff, they're like, yeah, we have hundreds of people depending on us for their jobs. If we release 1.0, all of our like monetization schemes go away. We'll just be able to sell like skins and stuff and new copies of the game for 40, 50, 60 bucks. How long does that continue? Not long enough, I don't think. Yeah, to be clear, I don't think it's fair to call the game a scam. That's why I say in the video I just posted, I don't think it's fair to say Star Citizen is a scam, because it's not. Like, you pay for something and you get that something, and they are very clear when they communicate what they're doing. My point is, I think what they are communicating, what they are doing, is just anti-consumer and scummy. Yeah, perhaps that's a better distinction, is scam versus scum. Like, it's just a scummy way to monetize your game. And I understand it's in early access. I understand they're fundraising. I understand that that's the only way they can make the money to make the game. I get all that. But I don't have to like it. And I don't like it. Yeah, they laid out the cards of what 1.0 would be back in 2012 as well, and then it changed. Now, I think it changed for the better. I think the game that they have even now in alpha is way better than even what was initially kind of visualized in that 2012 pitch for the original Kickstarter. But it's changed, and they've added stuff. They're doing more stuff. So again, I'm not so sure that we'll ever hit 1.0, or if we do hit 1.0, if they'll stop selling ships. I think they'll always continue to do it. 1 minute to go. Yep. Did you check out day 2? They laid out the plan for 1.0 release and even trolled ship buyers by saying crafted ships will always be better. Check it out if you haven't, and we can hold them. Yeah, no, I watched it. I just, at this point, there is no reason to buy anything that they are saying. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. When you hit 1.0 and you stop selling ships, or when you hit 1.0 and you turn off the server wipes and stuff, then I'm in. But they've been saying this stuff for over a decade. Like, and at some point, you know, what's the old saying? You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At this point, they've like fooled you 15 different times as they've moved the goalpost back. But anyway, Fallout Day. Let's see. What's the over-under on Fallout 5? What's the over-under? Oh no, lightning. Hold on.
My relationships with my coworkers, it's a work in progress. I've been working with HR on what she calls it the body odor opportunities for me.
I don't know why he smells terrible. Great character artist, just makes me sick to my stomach.
I have candles.
People think I hired him. I didn't. But he's kind of good at his job.
Well, I'm a Texan first, and then a ghoul, and I'm a father, and I volunteer at the animal shelter. You know, it's these things take some acclimation, but life's a journey.
On October 23rd, when we heard that sound,
it's funny. It's because they're adding ghouls as a playable race in 76.
Leave your trouble on the surface. It's Fallout Day.
Hi, I'm Jess Finster, Community Director for Bethesda, and I'm so happy to be here in Bethesda Game Studios in Austin, Texas, welcoming you all to our first ever Fallout Day broadcast. As all Fallout aficionados know, October 23rd marks the day the Great War started, kicking off the events of a franchise that has been going strong for nearly 30 years. To mark the occasion, we're celebrating all things Fallout, including the amazing community that brings our worlds to life. This year, we've seen more players in Fallout than ever before, setting record numbers across almost every title in the franchise.
Amazing.
In Fallout 76 alone, we've now passed 20 million players. So whether you're a longtime Enclave devotee, or just discovering Fallout thanks to the brilliant show from Kilter Films and Amazon Prime, welcome new Vault Dwellers. One thing is for certain, Fallout truly has one of the best communities in gaming. We at Bethesda Game Studios have seen your cosplay and memes, and we've watched your videos and streams. We've visited your vaults and taken tours of your incredible camps. Your constant creativity truly gives us life.
Do you think they've seen my videos?
But most of all, we've seen your feedback and we feel your support. So as both developers and fans, we thank you. To start the celebration off right, if you've never dabbled in apocalyptic Appalachia, but always been curious, guess what? You can play Fallout 76 for free until October 29th. For a limited time, we'll also be running Twitch drops. Watch the
Did I just tell you? I thought it was free to play. I guess I'm just used to the Game Pass version. Is it, how much do they charge for it now?
Rusted Pumpkin Lantern and other goodies. Also,
I guess I'm just out of the loop.
You'll find discounts on all
I
Fallout
thought it was
products
already
pretty
free.
much anywhere on the internet.
Oops.
And just like the Wasteland, these deals are going nuclear. Get massive discounts on Fallout titles and atoms for Fallout 76. We're not just showering our console and PC players with love. The Fallout Shelter community is huge, and we've got some fun surprises for them today too. For today only, you can grab the free Fallout Day bundle that includes Lucy, Maximus, and the Ghoul. So if you haven't downloaded Fallout Shelter, or it's been a while since you played, now is a great time to jump in.
Dude.
Last, and maybe most importantly, stay tuned after the Fallout Day broadcast, where our friends at
Raising money
Fallout
for St.
Hope
Jude's.
will be doing
What's
a
even
live
crazier is Fallout Shelter is almost a decade old, dude. Next year it'll be a decade. Same with Fallout 4.
The event is produced to benefit the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and will feature floats, musical acts, and other special guests with stories of players around the world who love Fallout. Shout out to Ken and the entire Fallout for Hope team for always being such a pillar within the Fallout community. Now let's jump right in and take a look at Fallout 76 and get a peek at...
Jess, you okay?
Yeah, I just need a minute.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Sorry, can we go back up a little bit? All right. Now let's jump right in with a look at Fallout 76 and get a peek at what's coming next in Appalachia. Happy Fallout Day!
She's schooling. Yeah. They're having fun with it. It's cute.
Let's just start by saying that Jess is absolutely right. There's no better gaming community than the Fallout community.
We never could have predicted just how welcoming you would all make the post-nuclear wasteland. We love seeing how you cooperate with and support each other, including how you shower new players with gifts, set up rest stops with your camps along the road from Vault 76, and pack donation boxes with useful junk.
When I first played the game, I came out of the vault and a super high level player just dropped a bunch of stuff for me, just like a bag of guns, and waved and ran off.
You hear it from pretty much anyone you ask. As soon as somebody new comes out of the vault, there's
I can attest to this. I had somebody come up to me and give me stuff. Like, people have been very nice. It's one of the bizarre things is the game is kind of built around the premise that players would be toxic and be like raiders and stuff, but there's some very nice people in there that just go in there and are happy to have people.
Dropbox that is sitting outside of the entrance of the
Yeah,
vault
it's just garbage they have to get rid of. Yeah.
came full circle.
Fallout 76 is a labor of love. We're hugely thankful for your feedback over the years because it has inspired some of the biggest updates since launch and has helped make the game what it is today. We've tried everything throughout over 50 free updates. Each one is only getting more wild, more ambitious, and obviously more Fallout. And we have no intention of stopping. It did something weird with my hand. From major content expansions like Wastelanders, which brought life back to Appalachia,
to expeditions that took us to exciting new locales like the Pit and Atlantic City.
And even to our latest major update, Skyline Valley, which gave players their first Appalachia map expansion and the means to run their own caravan company in Milepost Zero.
And it's not just that. We're always considering quality of life features too. From free cam and camp building to one wasteland level scaling, a lot has changed in Fallout 76 over the past 6 years. The returning settlers and raiders you've helped, the games you've played at Nuka World on tour, the 51.5 million camps you have built to bring the map to life. We love seeing how you've made Appalachia your own, and it truly feels alive. So keep it up. Tell us what you want to see. Shout it from the mountaintops.
Or if you don't have any mountains nearby, just go on Reddit.
Or Discord.
Or send a messenger Brahmin.
And join the public test server. We want to hear your feedback. Keep helping us make Fallout 76 the best and biggest Fallout game we can.
We read everything on Discord and the subreddit, and you know, it's really important for the process. So
good to know.
Please keep it coming. That's how we make the game better. Dogmeat's an incredibly hard worker. And you know, we would be nowhere without him.
Whenever I need something, he'll just show up and it's like, hey, here's your lunch, or here's a severed hand.
We had this one meeting about hours and how long it is for dog meat. Really puts things into perspective.
Okay, that was funny. That's funny. See, this is why it's good to have leveled expectations. When you're coming in and being like, hey, they're gonna announce some stuff for Fallout 76, you can have a good time.
Fallout 76 players. One update we've been seeing you talk about for some time now is finally coming to Fallout 76, and quite frankly has us saying,
"Here, human, 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 I got a treat for you."
Camp pets are coming to Fallout 76. Soon, you'll have fuzzy friends to bring your camp to life. There will be 2 pets to start, a cat and a dog. Let's answer the most important question right now. Yes, you can pet them. You'll be able to interact with your pets, dress them, and even place furniture like a cat scratch pole or a bona fide bone-filled dirt pile in your camp for them to enjoy.
And we're not stopping at 2. We want to see a wasteland that's full of all different kinds of pets. So keep an eye out for more furry additions in the future, and maybe some that are not so furry.
Yes, you can pet them.
No, don't cover me up.
Razzle dazzle.
Also coming in December are player titles. These will include a prefix and a suffix that you can combine to make your unique nuclear nickname.
I'm excited to see what kind of player title combination players are going to come up with.
Midnight Bot Beater.
Gulper Technician. Gleaming Raid Rookie.
Scorched Sat Seer.
Bloodied Adventurer. I play a bloodied player quite often, so it kind of fits with that.
You'll earn them as a reward from doing anything from completing quests and challenges to defeating epic enemies.
Now, if you're looking for something more irradiated, take a look at our next December update. Deep in the scab slopes of the ash heap, old scars are torn open when we introduce the Gleaming Depths.
The Gleaming Depths is a sort of traditional MMO-style dungeon that should really challenge our endgame players.
You get to battle through a gauntlet with your friends. If you're really looking for a cooperative experience, like a really deeply tied cooperative experience.
This is going to be high difficulty content that's going to really drive our endgame users.
The idea was born in a Bethesda Game Studios game jam, but quickly amassed an inter-studio cult following through the magic and wonder of puppetry.
John's puppet has been a huge inspiration for us. As silly as it may sound, it actually has been very helpful for us to try to figure out exactly what we wanted to plan for this. We wanted to plan.
Raids are an exciting spectacle that give our
Can I just say I missed this. I miss E3 for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons I miss it was for the just stupid, silly, cringe skits and stuff. Like, there's something about it that just feels so like 2013 gaming to me. And yeah, when we had it, we were all complaining like this should be more professional. But now I'm like, I kind of miss it. I don't like hearing about all the latest stuff with like with any game from a press release or from some corporate earnings call. Like I kind of like it when the teams are just being silly and cringy. Like it's fun. It's fun.
Experienced players a new challenge to overcome.
These are players that have been playing the game for years, level 300-ish plus.
You'll need a tight, well-organized squad of up to 4 players, and y'all need to come well-equipped to even stand a chance at surviving the terrors within. The Gleaming Depths is home to an abandoned Enclave research lab where scientists were studying a phenomenon they call ultragenesis, the spreading of ultrasight through the Earth.
Your team will have to fight through several incredibly demanding encounters. And once you start, there's no turning back. You win or you die. The first encounter you'll come to is the Guardian. Think of it as a mechanized doorman, which is maybe a little too good at its job. If our heroes survive, they delve deeper into the complex and come upon a giant drill room. Part of the group will need to defend the drill from being ravaged by mole miners, while another part sprints through the nearby dark halls to gather the energy for powering it up. There's just one catch. The Stalker, an ultrasight-crazed maniacal juggernaut who wants only to kill you. Good luck with that. Brave adventurers who outsmart the Stalker will next find themselves face-to-face with the tectonic trifecta of terror, Enclave Squad Epsilon. Agents Vulture, Lynx, and Bloodhound demand precise teamwork to overcome for players to deliver.
just put some green gems on him. That'll be good. Just stick them on.
Final blow.
Reminds me of the yellow gems things they did with Suicide Squad in that final bit.
Hellbent on revenge for your team's earlier trickery. To overcome this foe once and for all, you'll need to delve deep within the horrid halls of an Enclave research laboratory long lost. It's been an excruciating journey. Take a few minutes to bandage your wounds, polish your gear, and muster your mettle because you're gonna need it when you face the ultrasight terror of the Gleaming Depths.
My favorite thing about the Gleaming Depths is the ultrasight terror.
It's definitely the biggest boss in Fallout 76, and it might be the biggest boss in a Fallout game in general.
When you first see this thing, it is very intimidating. It is huge, and you're going to feel like there's no way around it.
It's seeing people jump out of their chairs and flee in terror is always makes me happy.
So before you even set off for the Gleaming Depths, you want to make sure your gear is up to snuff, because with high risk comes high reward, and these rewards are legendary. And what's more legendary than a 3-star? 4-star legendaries. 4-star legendaries are top-tier, highest-level weapons and armor that will be critical to maximizing your build. For example, I love having Slayers equipped on my Plasma Caster, as it gives me a massive damage boost to legendary and raid enemies alike. Take that, Ultrasight Terror. To craft a 4-star legendary, add any 4-star mod to a 3-star legendary, and you're on your way to killing the baddest beasts in the land. That seems like a lot, right? Well, we're still not done.
Hey, Bill.
Oh, hey, Dave. Coming in early 2025, for the first time in Fallout history, you'll be able to transform into a ghoul. Once you hit level 50 and complete the ghoulification quest, you'll be able to experience all the benefits of life as a ghoul. You'll no longer have to worry about catching a bad case of the rads, because you'll be immune to radiation damage. In fact, you'll crave it. As a ghoul, exposure to rads will heal you and possibly unlock unique abilities.
And don't even worry about pesky things like needing to eat to live. Instead of hunger and thirst, you'll have a new feral meter to keep an eye on. Depending on your playstyle, you might even let yourself get a little wild, because going feral has a few perks of its own, such as turning into a crazed berserker, hand-to-hand combatant who could rip the face off a Deathclaw. Players who choose to live life as a ghoul will also get access to a suite of ghoul-specific perk cards to use in addition to the existing human perks. This, coupled with a ghoul's immunity to rads, will open up dozens of new playstyles for players to experience the Wasteland. But being a ghoul isn't easy.
Yeah, what's
Ghouls
the
get a
downside?
bad rap, and many NPCs and factions like the Brotherhood of Steel won't take too kindly to your new look, even if you do have a fancy new hairpiece.
What does it mean to become a ghoul? Does that include new abilities, new perks?
Real quick, I'm going to put this in chat and pin it. I want to know from you guys, what are the odds that that ghouls are playable in Fallout Fallout 5? What are the odds? Do you think that they are going to be like a class or like a build you can do, or do you think that they just don't do it and pretend like they didn't see this? I'm curious what you think, because like, to me, I'm like, oh, it's so obvious. Add that. If it's in the MMO, it should be in the single player game, but I want to know what you think. We'll look at the results after.
Options that will take place, for example, the Brotherhood of Steel, who do not take kindly to ghouls.
It'll be cool to see like ghoul parades and ghoul camps and ghoul friends.
So one of the new perks that are coming up with ghouls, which I think is my favorite, is called Battle Genes, which is a perk that will activate as soon as you're in battle, that will heal the ghoul, because you're feeling the adrenaline rush, you're training for battle, so your body is getting ready.
For ghoul players who still want to complete storyline quests with factions that normally wouldn't ally with a ghoul, there may be a way to fool them. And if it turns out being a ghoul just isn't for you, players will be able to revert back to human. But come on, Don't you think smooth skin's a little overrated? This update is something we are very excited to get into your hands, and we'll have more to share in the coming months.
I mean, it sounds to me like everybody's just going to play Ghoul. I don't think there'll be any people above level 50. I think everybody's going to go Ghoul.
I think as an artist, I will always put myself in my art in one way or another, and that's something I really enjoy, making the Ghoul characters. I had talked to John about maybe expanding onto other things, but he really felt that that was kind of, you know, my zone. He said that that was a way for me to speak my truth through the art, so that's what I like to do.
Well, before we say goodbye, we wanted to say thanks again to all our fans that played our recent map expansion, Skyline Valley. Looks like I've got some research to do on an upcoming feature.
Fishing.
Thank you for joining our big Fallout Day celebration. It was so great getting to share all the fun updates to come. Personally, I can't wait to play as a Ghoul. Speaking of the Ghoul, to our wonderful friends at Kilter Films. On behalf of the entire Fallout community, congrats on your Emmy wins. I think we're all a little bit eager to see what happens in Season 2. And just a reminder, be sure to tune into the post-show with the folks from Fallout for Hope. For anyone that wants to wet their whistle with the Sunset Sarsaparilla and live that real New Vegas experience, come hang out with your friends at the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, Nevada, where the entire town will play host to the unofficial Fallout fan celebration. They've been doing it for years, and it's amazing. So on November 16th and 17th, if you see us, come say howdy. On a personal note, seeing things like the Fallout meetup happen organically is incredible. I've had the opportunity to see this community grow and really embrace all things Fallout. I really do believe you are a huge part of what makes this franchise so special. That said, as it is our first ever Fallout Day broadcast, and saying goodbye is harder than fistfighting in a Assaultron with no chems, we just want to take the time to celebrate some of our favorite moments from development and the community.
Cam?
My favorite thing about Fallout is just the world. The alternate history, the retro sci-fi.
All the little random things that you can find out in the world.
First time you find power armor, and you get to go and blow things up. Unlike so many other worlds, it's one of the most playful and interesting to build in.
The thing I like the most.
It always blows me away that these are like dedicated jobs. Lead monetization designer. So this is the guy. So he's the one. Okay, we found him.
It's one of the most playful and interesting to build in.
The thing I like the most about the community is just how passionate they are.
Seeing players be unique in a unique franchise. I mean, truly, the community is one of the best out there.
You know, they're the type of folks I'd like to hang out with.
Some of my most favorite community moments in Fallout 76 are when I'm walking around Appalachia and I'm able to look at other people's camps and they meet me there and they show off what they've built. I think it's just awesome.
I once saw somebody dress up in cosplay mirroring an animation that I had created. A guy sitting on a chair playing a tuba. It was amazing.
I love that the community has started visiting the real-life Fasnacht event in Helvetia and brought masks that are directly from Fallout 76.
Who doesn't love chasing those rare masks, those glowing masks?
That's when I knew 76 was going to be a world that could live on forever.
Stay true, citizen, for the Brotherhood.
Okay, cut.
Thanks to all of you for joining.
Todd! Oh my God!
Joining us here at Bethesda for our very first Fallout Day broadcast. You know, when we think about Fallout, for me, it goes back to playing that original game and just falling in love with it. It is such a blessing for us here at Bethesda. Is now our 20th year working on the franchise. And there have been so many people that have created in it over the years. And you can ask any of them, whether they worked on the games or now the television show, everyone will tell you there's nothing like working on Fallout. It's just an incredible universe, and obviously an incredible universe to play in. We're looking forward to more, so thank you for joining us.
It's Fall Life, darling, so enjoy your stay. Told your neighbors on Fallout Day.
Hit the candle. That's it. So what do you want to bet that people are freaking out that they didn't announce Fallout 5? Oh, is the chat dead? Yeah, it's dead. Bummer. I want to see what they were saying. Let's see what you guys said about playing a ghoul in Fallout 5. Let's see what the votes say. The votes say 70% think yes, 30% think no. If I had to put money on it, I would guess that you can. They have a decade, dude. We're not getting it until probably a decade from now. So they have plenty of time. Plenty of time. And you know, we can always have faith and trust in the artistic prowess of Todd, the power and strength he gives us in times of darkness. He illuminates our path and keeps us safe. As was said in the book of Fallout 4, Chapter Institute, Todd Howard, full of creativity, the community is with thee. Blessed art thou among developers, and blessed is the content of thy games. Master Todd, maker of worlds, inspire us gamers now and in our playthroughs. Amen. Amen. Praise be. Praise be. I told you guys, right, that I got a message from somebody that was like really offended that we were we were teasing this, but I just think it's too funny to stop, you know. And if it's ask whatever deity to send me a message and I will stop. But this is our faith, and I think honestly acting as though our faith in Todd is done just for cheap laughs and suggesting that our prayers to him are done for memes and giggles to troll hardcore fans of the franchises he is responsible for, to suggest that it's all just a joke and that we are not truly faithful to Todd to provide us great games. I find that offensive, frankly. So I will not tolerate it. I will not tolerate the churlishness, as it were. I mean, there's no real surprises in that like I said during it, I miss the age of E3 because it was always kind of cringe. There's always kind of stupid skits, and it was always just kind of silly. And, you know, you got some stuff that was fun, but you could tell the devs were having a good time. And I feel like that is something that's kind of missing in the modern industry. I think that's why there's so much, like, I don't know if it's just toxicity or if it's just cynicism or whatever, but I feel like we've kind of lost sight that a lot of this is supposed to just be fun and silly. Like, we're talking about video games, for God's sake, people. Like, this is supposed to be a fun hobby. It's not supposed to be a miserable thing that makes us sad or stressed. Like, you should be having fun. Even if Fallout 76 isn't for you, like, am I gonna grind to level 50 to play as a ghoul? Probably not. But I can see how members of the community are probably super excited for this update, are probably having a great time, so long as they weren't falsely hoping that they would get like Fallout 5, in which case they're going to be bummed. But I miss the days when we could just get those game reveals and it's just fun and giggles and laughs, and, you know, not everything is going to be a hit. But I do miss those days. And, you know, this, with proper expectations, I think was a pleasant time, a fun little romp in the Fallout hay, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy with it, you know, because It's not, they're not trying to push it too hard. They're not trying to make it into something crazy. But I think it's, with so much of this stuff, it's based on proper expectations. If anybody went into that expecting like Fallout 5, can you imagine the excitement they felt when they saw Todd come on screen? They're like, oh my God, he's going to do it. But if you think about it for 10 seconds, you know that that was never going to happen. Like, no, it's still a decade out, man. Like, there's no way. There's no way. What I find amazing, though, is that it's taken until now for us to get like a consistent Fallout Day celebration. You would think that they would be doing that as like a regular thing for years and years, but it's really just the Fallout show popping off that made them that excited and interested in it. I think they didn't bother with it for so long because they weren't interested. Yeah. Anyway. Also, fam, I cannot provide you details. This may sound like I'm breaking some news or something. Okay. I received confirmation. I will not be reviewing Dragon Age. Yeah. Let that sizzle in. Let that simmer. Yeah. Figure that one out. Yeah, fake news. Yeah. No, everybody's like, congratulations. You saved yourself some time. Yeah, no. To be clear, it seems like with this game, they are on giga lockdown. They are sending codes to a very select group. Now, what you make of that, I will leave up to you. But I find it very interesting. Could be just, to be clear, I know we're kind of playing around. To be very clear, it could very well be that it's just a massive RPG and they're worried about spoilers, so they're not sending codes out except to like IGN and GameSpot and those guys. That's also, I mean, that's a very possible thing. Which we've seen before. I mean, it's that type of thing happens if you're really, really worried about spoilers. It does also happen when there's other concerns about that stuff. But what I will say is that I think it's come out that the review embargo is scheduled for the 28th. So their plan is to have reviews go up 3 days beforehand. So they're not planning on having it like, you know, no reviews until after launch. It's not a situation like that. It seems like it is just that they are only sending it to big reviewers and big groups and outlets like that. I don't know if other YouTubers have codes. I don't know if that's a thing. I haven't spoken to anybody that has access to it. But even that's a little surprising because you would think with this being a big game that they would have sent out codes to a good number of people. And I know people that do not do like super critical reviews typically. So it's interesting. But we'll leave it there. If anybody was waiting for my review, you will not see it on the 28th. Interesting. But I think honestly, it's probably spoilers. I still think it's a mistake. I still think that they should send codes out to YouTubers and reviewers like that, not just to IGN and GameSpot. But I mean, if you look at it from their perspective, they may be looking at it and like, okay, well, we know IGN gave us really good previews. We know that GameSpot, VGC, like those guys gave us really good previews. Let's give them the game for review, not send it to YouTubers and streamers for review, because it's just not worth the risk. And I can't say I blame them, especially after some of the crap that some YouTubers and streamers have been doing and saying about the game, you know, like, can't blame them for being hesitant. But we'll see. We'll see. Better believe I'm going to be watching. But yeah. That's the update I have for you on that one. Let me catch up on these super chats and stuff. Separate tab. Let me pull this up. Let's see. I think somebody said I missed one. Let me make sure I see it. Dawn Magix says mommy for $2. I wonder what you were referring to. Silver, thank you for the 5. Not exactly game news, but Epic just launched a fab, a full marketplace which includes stuff for both UE and Unity. As a dev, I appreciate. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Did they talk about that at their Unreal Day or whatever? I feel like they might have. I'm not sure. Let's see. I saw that one. What do you think about the theory that Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown would have sold better if it wasn't a Ubisoft game? I mean, I don't know how it sold. I know it didn't meet their expectations, but Ubisoft has had very ridiculous expectations for different projects. So I don't know if it sold like way below a reasonable expectation. Like, say a reasonable expectation is like a million units. I'm not sure if that's reasonable for that type of game, but let's say it's 1 million. I don't know if Ubisoft saw only 500,000. They might have seen 1 million, but they for some reason expected 5 million, and so they were disappointed. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I do think that there is a penalty for it being a Ubisoft game where people are much less likely to give it that benefit of the doubt, I think. Oops, it scrolled past it. Let's see. Oh yeah, speed of models. I saw the Hornet. Yeah, Jordan. I saw that one. Rango, thank you for the 2. Star Citizen is secretly run by Mr. Krabs. A sci-fi Mr. Krabs. Jordan, thank you for the 10. Did you check out day 2? Oh yeah, I read that one. Yeah, they outlined a bunch of stuff. Eric, thank you for that. Do you know what day you will have the live chat with Space Tomato, Luke? Just want to know so I can set the time to watch it live. It is Friday as part of their podcast. So Friday morning, I believe, is when it is. And so we'll chat then, and then I'll come on my stream. That's the plan, at least. Zach, thank you for the 10. Very generous. I think Microsoft have Elder Scrolls 6 as a next Xbox release title. I would tell the team at Bethesda make a brand new engine and give it to them to make it. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, they can't really just make a new engine. That's not really something you can just do. It takes years and years and years to do that. If you mean like go use another tool set like Unreal or something, it's already too late, to be clear. Like, they're working on it. They've been doing pre-production on it. They can't just move engines at this point. Elder Scrolls 6 will be in the Creation Engine 2 is what they said. So it won't even be like a totally revamped version of it, it seems. So expect it to look and play much like Starfield in terms of structure and stuff. So, you know, don't expect anything too crazy. Whether that's a mistake or not, time will tell. I do think that an Elder Scrolls game works much better in the Creation Engine than a sci-fi game where you can travel multiple planets and stuff. I think the Creation Engine works much better for Elder Scrolls than it does Starfield. So it might not feel as bad or even bad at all in an Elder Scrolls game. It's just with what they were trying to do with Starfield, the Creation Engine was just about the worst engine that they could have used. Let's see. Banana, thank you for the 2. They'll just say, I don't like you, do this mission. Oh, like if, I think you were talking about the ghouls. Like if you talk to somebody who doesn't like ghouls in Fallout 76, they just say, I don't like you, now do this mission anyways. Yeah, probably. Edgar, thank you for the 5. You're the biggest content creator in the land. Sad. I wish, but no. There's probably some big streamers and stuff, but like, to be clear, how this typically works is that there's a few different buckets. Okay, so how it typically works is that there's the bucket of like review codes. Review. Okay. And there might be, I don't know, 500 codes in here. Okay. And these are generated by the team, by the press team, whatever. And then there's like streamer codes. Okay. And this is a smaller bucket. Or maybe actually, usually it's a little bit opposite. So usually it's like little bucket for reviews. Okay. A bigger bucket for like early access streamers. And then they have a big bucket that goes out to like press and media that they're trying to get interested. So maybe this is just media in general. So they'll send these codes out to like to groups that do wiki articles or groups that might do TikTok content, whatever, you know. So little bucket for reviews, streamers that get access to the game maybe a day or two early, and then you have the rest of it, which get the game on launch. I've been offered games like a day or two after launch constantly, but by then I've probably already bought it to make a video on launch day, you know, so it's not that helpful. But this is a very common thing. I would have hoped that this bucket would be a little bigger so they could get more reviews, but it seems like they are locking it down and only a select group of people and institutions will be reviewing it. So if you're somebody that doesn't like IGN reviews, you might want to wait until this wave when like streamers get access to it and can play it or talk about it. It's not the first time I've seen it. I think this is how EA typically handles stuff. I don't think it's the best way to handle it, but I do think that that's it's far from the first time. Let me refresh. My chat just disappeared for some reason. Do you think IGN and the like are lobbying for this? I don't think they're lobbying. I just think that this is considered safer, which I don't blame them. It probably is. I mean, we see all the time streamers and YouTubers leaking footage, leaking story plot lines and stuff because they got a game early and then they send the email to this person or that person with the stuff. Like, it unfortunately is a severe problem that they have. And so they might have just decided, you know what? It's not worth the trouble. I think it's really unfortunate because they've done so much else right and they've been so transparent. To see them be like really really restrictive with reviews is unfortunate, because I think it undermines confidence at a time when you really need it. Yeah, look up Game Riot. They released the whole first chapter. Yeah, well, it's an EA thing where they view press in a totally different category than content creators, perhaps rightly so, but they view them very, very differently. So they treat them differently and they get different things. Yeah, leaking on stream literally. Yeah, some literally will get the game and then stream the game even though it hasn't released yet. It's happened many times. So if you have a game with like big story spoilers, which Dragon Age has, they might just be like, it's not worth the risk. Blake, thank you for the 10. I really hope that in Elder Scrolls 6 you don't become the leader of every faction you join. How are you the leader still doing busy work? Also, I hope you can get locked out of content based off your choices. I hope so too, but I think that that's just how Bethesda does things. I forget the name of the gentleman. Lawrence, maybe? Lawrence on Inside Gaming Daily, whatever. It used to be the no. But we looked at it on stream. It was like, it was talking about Starfield, and he was like, I think Bethesda is one of these studios that accidentally stumbled into success after Skyrim. Like, they released Skyrim, it blew up because it was this like campy kind of silly open world adventure sandbox, and they kind of misunderstood why it was successful, and they thought, oh, it's successful because it's a really good role-playing game, really intense. And it's like, no, it's not really good and intense. Like, you walk into the College of Winterhold and then they promote you to the head of the college within like 15 minutes. Like, it's hilarious how not serious it is. But that's what made it fun, is that it was just like a campy, silly, sort of stupid adventure game. And it's like, Bethesda games are good when they approach it that way. But it seems like they misunderstand what people like, you know? And if they want to do that, if they want to have it be campy and kind of like a not super serious D&D campaign where you end up being the king and emperor and you defeat all the dragons and everything, that's fine. But I think they need to pursue that. And my fear is that they're going to try to pursue like a really deep, intense storyline that's super emotional and weighty. And we're going to get Starfield level writing for it. And it's going to destroy it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's a thing. So, oh yeah, and just a little update for everybody. Yeah, the day before, developers, they canceled their Kickstarter for that one game, and then they announced another game at the same time as canceling it. Specifically, it's a new like prop hunt style game. I don't think they have anything to show for it though. But yeah, they already backed out of that. I mentioned this before. Yeah, here. I mentioned this before. At one time, we saw that this shot up to like $15,000 or something because somebody had bought the top crazy $12,000 Meet the Founders thing. We had somebody comment and tell us, it's apparently somebody from our community thought it was funny to go in there and use an old credit card they had to do this and to buy access to that $12,000 version, because they're like, hey, it's deactivated. It's not going to go through if they try to charge the card if they meet their funding goal somehow. But this will at least troll them a little bit, get their hopes up. And to be clear, I do not condone. I don't even know if that's like illegal or anything, because it's a card, but it's not an active card. It's not like you're using a stolen card. It's just a card that doesn't work. I honestly don't know how that works, but it doesn't feel like that should be okay or allowed. So I'm not condoning that behavior. But it is funny that in this moment that everybody was like, oh my God, are they actually going to raise that much money? It ended up, no, it wasn't true. Like, it was a fake donation. It's still amazing. They raised $2,300 or $2,400 from 50 backers. That's what, where's my, there it is. Oh, that's what on average, $50 a pop. Who was giving them that money? Like, who would do that? I'm shocked. We tried, I think, didn't we play it on stream? We tried to boot up, but it was just broken. You just couldn't do it. Like, the matchmaking was broken, so you just couldn't do anything unless you had people like within your network to play with. Their own money to make it look like real support, maybe. That's hilarious. That's scary. Yeah, the duality of man. Yes, that's our streams, isn't it? But yeah, that's already canceled. That's gone. That's dead. And they are trying to kickstart I don't know, like literally kickstart, but they're trying to kick off a new separate game, which will be different. Specifically, we are happy to announce the start of development on a new action horror prop hunt game called Items. This is exactly what many of you have been waiting for. They're going to launch a new Kickstarter campaign. You can't make it up now. Like, you can't make it up at this point. The lack of self-awareness is shocking. But yeah, it is a new prop hunt game, and they are doing it. So we'll play that when we get there, I guess. It's just, it really is amazing. It really is amazing. Anyway, that's a separate issue. That's a separate issue. So we got that. I am gonna go eat some food. Let me make sure I got caught up on all of our stuff. L, thank you for the 2. They're afraid they know something we don't. Oh, you mean about the review codes? Maybe not. Like, I want to be clear about this. There have been amazing games that lock down review codes. The Last of Us Part 2 locked down review codes. You might not think that's amazing, so fair point. Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, specifically, they also had difficult to get review codes, and that ended up being amazing. We got very lucky because I had some connections, but that was very difficult to get review codes for. God of War Ragnarok, that was very difficult to get review codes for. Ended up getting one, but again, it's because we had the connections. So there are very good games that are super tough to get review codes for. It does not mean that this will therefore be good because it's hard to get review codes for, but I want to just offer a countering opinion, because it's easy to be like, they didn't send a review code out, so therefore they're trying to hide something. Maybe, but it also might just be that they don't want to risk
donated
leaks.
£20 through Super Chat.
Thank you,
Space
Sam.
Marine 2's Saber Interactive are developing the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, but we've barely heard anything about it. Do you think Space Marine 2's success is delaying the remake due to its live service?
My understanding is it's totally separate. Saber's big. Like, Saber is way bigger than people think it is. Saber Interactive. They have like a lot of employees. Like they have over 1,300 employees. So they are a big studio and developer. They make all sorts of stuff. So I want to be clear that just because one game is doing well or is big, that does not mean that their whole portfolio is seeing shifts or changes or anything like that. You can see they've got all sorts of different studios within them. There's Saber itself, and then there's all these other families underneath Saber Interactive. So it's tough to pin down exactly what influence one project could have over the others. But do I think it's delaying it? Probably not. It might just be that it's really hard to do a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. Seems to be difficult. Seems to be a thing. The Phantom, thank you for the 5. Hey Luke, quick question. Something I don't see brought up a lot when talking about Star Citizen is comparing it to Elite Dangerous. Why is that? I don't see brought up a lot when talking about it is comparing. So you mean like you don't see it compared to Elite Dangerous a lot? Or you do see it and you're wondering why? I hear it compared to Elite Dangerous a lot in comparison to that. No Man's Sky people bring up, but it's tricky because Star Citizen is trying to do things that all of those games do all at the same time. So it's just kind of tough. Like Elite Dangerous does slivers of what Star Citizen does, but Star Citizen is trying to do that and then also all this other stuff at the same time. So same thing with No Man's Sky. They do this little sliver, but they aren't doing all this other stuff. So it's they bring it up, but it's not like a one-to-one comparison. You know, they are different. They just do pieces similar. But thank you for that super chat. Thank you also, Sam, again for the 20. And then Brandon, thank you for the 5. Do you have any faith in Mafia Old Country after Mafia 3? Also, are you still on Space Marine? Are you still on Space Marine still, or are you done with that game? I'm not like done with it. I'm just really enjoying Metaphor ReFantasio. And I got to play The Witcher, and I have some other stuff I'm working on. Now, not Dragon Age. I have some time freed up in the next couple weeks, but or next week or so. But still. As for confidence in Mafia. After Mafia 3, I would have been like, no, zero confidence. After Mafia Definitive Edition, seeing what they were able to do there, I'm like, okay, they still have it. I don't know what went wrong with Mafia 3. Seemingly a lot. But after seeing Mafia Definitive Edition, I'm confident that they still have what they need. Like, this, they still have the talent. So, time will tell. Time will tell. I'm going to start Mafia Definitive Edition this week. Want to check it out. Dude, it's so good. I'm just telling you, it's so good. Funny, but Mafia is built on the framework of Mafia 3. So is Definitive Edition, technically speaking. But we'll see. I mean, as with all these things, if you have big flops in your last couple releases, you should be looked at very skeptically. You just should be. So that's important to note. So I'm not saying you should like pre-order it when they drop that. We should look at it cautiously, but I'm confident that they at the very least have the talent to do it. Do we play games on the stream? Sometimes if it's like a pressing thing, but I'm not one of those streamers that just sits on like whatever game for 8 hours a day. I don't really have the time to do that. So we talk about the topics. We might play a game if it's new. Or if it's pressing, but I am not one of those people that's talented enough to like be playing a game while also responding to an article or something. So we focus on what we're doing, and then when we're playing a game, we're playing a game, but that's how we tend to break it down. Yeah, I only play Suicide Squad on stream with a mug of bourbon next to him. Yeah, just out of frame. Just out of frame. Yeah. No Man's Sky just released a new update. Yeah, I saw that. That did seem interesting. Let's see. I want to double check, make sure I saw everything. Saw that one. Eric I saw Co Carnage saying that he was going to play Dragon Age Veilguard soon. So I wonder if he gets early access code for the 28th. Maybe. It could be, if he's saying soon, like, it could be that he is going to get it like a day or two before launch. And I still would expect that we get that. So we can do like an I tried or something on the game. But as for like a review where we play through the whole game, it seems like that is only going to be a very select few publications and stuff, I think. What keyboard is this? It's amazing. It's the Keychron Q6. Keychron Q6, Keychron, Q as in Quasar 6. Are you getting a 5090? You know me, I love spending money frivolously, so probably. I might have to have a new breaker installed in my house, but yeah, I'd like to. Okay, I'm gonna go eat some food, my fam. I know it's been kind of a weird day because we had the podcast first and then we did the stream, but back to normal soon. Sneeze. Oh, caught that just in time. But Friday, I'm going on Space Tomatoes podcast to chat with him about Star Citizen, and then I'll be back here for the stream afterwards. So buckle up for that, everybody. Much love. I'll see you guys soon. And go watch the new video on Star Citizen that went up this morning. And this afternoon, we'll have a video on Delta Force, the number 5 most wishlisted game on all of Steam. Go check it out. We got sponsored to do an I tried video, basically to go and just give it a shot. And I'm pretty impressed with it, honestly. I've been really, really impressed with what they've got. Makes a lot of these other games that are like $40 games feel like ripoffs because it's pretty solid. And then Mike, to wrap us up. Hey, Luke, been trying to figure out how to become a member until after I recited Lord Howard's prayer 16 times the detail. Finally was able to become a member. Thank you, my friend Mike Dememe, and I'm glad to have you. And thank you for the super chat. That's fantastic. And I'm glad to have you. You know, we'll have more members videos, members only videos up soon. Appreciate you guys. And everybody over on Twitch, thank you guys as well. Thanks for being with me, Alan. Crazy. All of you guys are awesome. I'll see you soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.